1999 on a T, BMW 328i Sport. As you can see, in one of my personal favourite colours of Atlantis Blue. It was an individual order car, so that's a special order car in Atlantis Blue with individual interior. So it's extended leather with Atlantis piping, which we'll show you in a second. I will show you the individual spec on the plaque and all that sort of stuff as well. Nice thing with BMW is you can pull the order sheet digitally as well, so you can see the original order and all that sort of stuff. Spec on this car is very, very good as well. The 17-inch split wheels, which are very rare. If you know your BMWs, you know they're rarely seen these days. And again, lovely spec with options and things as well, which we'll point them out as we go. Got a bit of sunlight on there, but it does actually work in its favour because you can see just how beautiful that colour is in the sunlight. Easily one of the best E36s of any kind we've had in here. A really fabulous car. We're going to start by having a good look at the bodywork. Then we'll check out the interior and we'll go for a cold engine startup. We're going to start on this driver's side. If you look down this side, you can see it's lovely and straight all the way down there. The body line that runs the full length of the body is lovely and crisp all the way down. It's not full of waviness, it's not full of filler or anything like that. Driver's front wing. No marks at all to note on that front wing. Really nice and tidy. I've got one, actually I'm missing ever so slightly, there's one tiny stone chip just there. Inside the arch itself, normally this section gets all caked up from stones getting flicked off, but it's lovely and clean as you can see. Inside the arch itself, where the metal is nice and sharp all the way around. There's no sign of any corrosion coming through there. And again, you can get your hand in behind that sort of factory fitted mudguard, and again, nice and solid in there. All four wheels are in really nice condition. See, there's no curbing or anything to that. And they've got the centre caps and the badges aren't faded. And I believe we're on a matching set of Pilot Sport Michelins all the way around, but we'll check them as we go. Coming down this side, again, no marks across the top of the wing. Up the A-pillar, there's no stone chips there. Normally you find some delamination at the bottom of the screen on these, but this one is all good. Screen itself, lovely and clean, and it is the original spec. Green tinted top on the windscreen. Up onto the roof. Again, lovely and straight there. If we're being really picky, there's a little bird poo mark just there. You might just be able to see it on the camera if I move it ever so slightly. There you go. That one's polished off, but the rest of it is lovely and neat. Very, very unusually, the glass is about as clean as you're ever going to find on this era BMW. Obviously being frameless, quite often it can get scratched, but this one is really, really good. Rear windows, it is the opening rear windows as well, and they are lovely. Wing mirror around that section is all nice and neat. And then the plastic, and then the rubber trim along the bottom. Lovely and soft, it's not dried out or cracked or anything like that. Driver's door, very nice and tidy. We do have a little bit of dust there, which we're going to ignore. And along that sill cover is nice and neat all the way along. Nothing to whinge about there. It is always quite good to open that door and have a look in behind there. Check there's no corrosion coming through. This one, as you can see, is excellent. And then rear quarter, no marks at all to notice or whinge about there. You can see, like I say, lovely and straight. Down this section, which again, normally gets filled with stone chips, is all nice and neat. And then the metal section, if we get our hands in behind there, sharp all the way around. We do have what you'd almost call a fisheye in the paint there. It's just where there's a tiny little mark in the paint. It's not actually corrosion or anything like that. I'm guessing the rear bumper at some point has been painted. There's just a little bubble there. Once the head taken off with a polisher. But that is maybe really mean, really picky. Looking back up this side, again, like I say, really nice and straight. Sharp on the body lines all the way up. All your panel gaps are good. Round on the back, you can see it's got optional parking sensors as well. Across the top of the spoiler is lovely and neat. There's no marks on that. Quite often people use these to lift the boot up and down and they get fractured, but this one's good. I did notice, I'm going to point it out now while I remember, it still has the little bits of PPF that go there to protect that from the top of the wing. Normally that's all dried and cracked and horrible by now. Rear screen is lovely and neat. No sun fading that I can tell to that rear parcel shelf, which is very unusual. Normally they're horrible by now. Rear end again, generally, there's no marks on any of the corners of the bumpers. The lower half of the valance is all good. Exhaust sit nice and straight. Original dealer plates on there as well. Both tail lamps are lovely and clean. There's a tiny little bleb in the paint just there. You can just see it. It's obviously caught at some point. And then round on the passenger side, that sun's disappeared a bit, so we can see straight down here a bit better. Like I say, body line's lovely and sharp. All the panels lovely and flat. There's no waviness, there's no ripples, there's no dents. And then coming down the side, you want to check these seams. which on both sides on this one are lovely and clean, as you can see. Continue our way up the side, and again, normally you find some corrosion coming through this area here, but this one, sharp, clean, tidy all the way around, no sign of any corrosion, no stone chips or anything coming through, and all nice and neat on the plastic section as well. Rear wheel, lovely and neat. I think by the looks of things we're on Hankooks across the rear axle. Hankooks on both sides. Yeah. And then I think we're on Michelin Pilot Sport. Yeah, so Pilot Sport's on the front, matching across both axles, so that's pretty good. Getting the glass on this side, lovely and clear. Have another look at the roof from this angle, no marks to note. It does make for a boring video, but it makes for a really, really nice car. Again, down this section here, all nice and neat. No corrosion coming through there, which is where you normally find it. On that sill cover all the way along, really good. Jacking point covers are there as well. We'll have another look on the door on this side. And again, there's no corrosion coming through there at all. Lovely and tidy. All the plastics are good, they're not dried out or covered in back to black. Rubber on this side is good as well. On the wing mirror, and the plastics behind it, lovely and neat, they're not dried out or faded. No delamination in the corners of the screen. There's not even any stone chips on that A-pillar. In fact, actually I'm lying to you, there's one tiny one there, but that is just how picky we're being. And then front wing, got one tiny stone chip just there. But other than that, immaculate like the rest of the car, really very good. Nothing inside that arch to worry about there, all nice and sharp. All the wheels that we say are in lovely condition. The split rim bolts are all very good. Centre caps are nice. We've done a terrible job of cleaning them, but we'll have another go at that. Bumper corners on the front. Lovely and neat on both sides. The bumper sits nice and level. Original spec chrome outside grills. It's not had some nasty black ones put on there. Headlamps and indicators are all lovely and clear. Later car, so you've got the clear indicators. Fog lamps on the bottom are all nice and neat, as is that chin spoiler. It's not been rammed up any curbs or anything like that. And normally, this sort of age you find peppered with stone chips. We've got one or two very minor ones. 1, 2, 3 if we're being really picky. Rest of the bonnet is lovely and neat. So bodywork wise, really good looking car. Easily take it to a show without any issues at all. And then moving on to the interior, you've got the two-tone interior. That very light grey with a slightly darker accents on the doors, darker grey carpets and dash. All nice and neat on the driver's door there. Normally you get a lot of wear in this section. And across here, but this one's all good. Inside the door shuts itself is nice. Normally these get kicked and abused, but they're all very good. Pop the bonnet while we're here. Again, you can see that blue accents on the seat, part of the individual spec on the car. M Sport, obviously, or Sport, which is what became the M Sport. So you've got the body kit, wheels, suspension, sports steering wheel with the M tricolour in there. Driver's seat, we've got a bit of wear on the bolster. It hasn't gone through. It could be recoloured if you know what you're doing to fix that quite easily. On the original mats, and they've obviously been down a long time because the heel pad and everything under there is lovely and neat. No real wear at all at the steering wheel. Mileage wise, we are on 85,810 miles, so very sensible miles for one of these. Lovely and neat down the centre console. You will notice there's a Kenwood stereo in there. The original is in the boot. We do have the optional onboard computer. We've got air conditioning. So like I say, lovely spec. Rear seats, as standard on most E36 coupes, don't look like they've been sat in hardly at all. That black headlining is lovely and neat as well. Centre armrest is very good as well, another option. If you check the description, I have listed all of the options that are available on this car as well. Lovely and neat on the underside of the boot lid. And here again is all good, and in there is really nice. It's one of those cars, it doesn't look, when you look in the nooks and crannies, it doesn't look like it's ever been dirty. It doesn't look like it's been cleaned, it just looks like it's always been clean, if that makes sense. One in triangle, everything's still there for that. CD changer with the cassette is there. First aid kit is still there, and the jack behind it. You still got the straps on the boot, and they normally, this colour carpet on BMWs wore really badly, whereas that one's very good. Full size spare there. All nice and clean and tidy in there. No sign of any trapped moisture, no sign of any corrosion coming through on the boot floor. Into the passenger side. And again, lovely and neat on the door. This seat is even better than I thought it would be. There's virtually no wear at all on that. Lovely on the bolster. On the bottom, and obviously you've got the adjustable bottom pads there. And again, under the carpet, lovely and clean. All the grey, again, that Euro BMW, that grey does sort of hold dirt quite well, whereas this one It's lovely and clean. Normally it's quite dirty. In here, all nice and neat. More importantly, we do have the torch. If you do come and see the car and that's not there, we'll have put it in the history file just so it doesn't go missing. Have a look under the bonnet. And that 2.8 litre 6-cylinder engine, and easily one of the best engine bays I've seen on one of these for a very long time. It's easy to have this all looking nice and clean, but the plastics is where it's at for me. This is really nice and neat. All these corners are lovely and clean. On the strut tops is good. And if we look at that plaque, BMW individual, Atlantis metallic. So that is your plaque to go with the sort of the individual, the special order plaque. Build date December 98. It's a 99 car. All your VINs, everything as they should be. Like I say, we'll list all the options and spec on the car on the description. We'll get it fired up. No nasty rattle or chatter on start up there. Fired up lovely and smooth. It was driven to us, this one. I've had it down the road as well. It drives beautifully. Gear change is nice. Suspension's good. Steering's nice and tight. So there you have it. Easily one of the best 328i sports available at the minute in, for me, the best colour. Normally they come up and they're either really great condition but they're silver, or they're a sort of less desirable colour, or they're that colour and they're completely rotten. For once we get to say we've got both options ticked. So there you go. Any more questions, please get in touch. If you want to come and see the car, it's here with us every day. Let us know and we'll book you in for a review. And if you can't get to see it, that's not a problem. We can send you extra photos, we can send you extra videos, and we can answer any questions you might have. You've just got to get in touch. Thank you.